Greetings, friends and citizens of the world. This is Bart Sabrell of Sabrell.com. I've got a great and special announcement today. A friend of mine and I have been working on a board game for the last 7 years called 7, because it uses a 7x7 board with 7 pieces each that have to move 7 spaces every turn. If you go to Sabrell.com, all you have to do is scroll down and you'll see there's a page for this game of 7. You click here to download for free, and it'll take you to a description of the game and the link here where you can download right now on Android phone or iPhone. And soon it will be available for Windows and Mac desktop, as well as the gaming platform Steam. And it's cross-platform. I thought that's the way games were and should be, but apparently it's very rare for someone to have a game on their iPhone and to be able to play a player simultaneously on their Android phone. However, you can do that with this game, and when the Windows and Mac desktop version comes out in a few weeks, you'll be able to play from Windows to Mac, a player anywhere in the world, and Mac to Android phone, and Windows to iPhone, and any combination thereof. Now, everybody knows that the number 7 is special. There's 7 days of the week, there's 7 notes on the musical scale, and there's even 7 colors in light. So when I was playing chess and checkers one day and reading the book of Revelation that had all these 7s in it, the 7 spirits of God, the 7 seals of Revelation, the 7 plagues to come, I thought, well, why not have a board that's 7x7 instead of 8x8? So I got out an old chessboard that my father had made, and I taped off 1 row vertically, 1 row horizontally to kind of look at the board. And as you'll see, that when you have a 7x7 board, you have a center square. So this kind of developed the game 7, and I kind of came up with that concept, but couldn't quite make the rules work. And then about 7 years ago, I had started getting all of these spam, like 200 a day, because my bank lost everyone's email address to spammers. And for the first week or two, went through every one in case I had a paying gig in there, and finally got tired of doing that. And then one day I had my mouse over the delete button of the spam folder, and something told me, check it. And lo and behold, there was a gentleman there by the name of John Himes from Israel complimenting my film, A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon, and we started playing chess over Skype, and I said, years ago, I came up with this concept of a game called 7. Maybe you could help me come up with the rules. So we spent about 7 years going over the rules, the design of the board, and John is the business manager for the company. He was a former IBM team leader for nearly a decade, and the current company he works for, he was hired one among 55 people, and he was the one they chose. He's a very smart man, very diligent worker, and without him, the game would be nowhere. So let me just show you a quick demonstration of the game, and you can see it right here. So the official company name is called 7 Interactive Limited, which is in Israel. This software was written by a company in Ukraine, and when they were 99% done, the war started, and with only a 30-day break to relocate, they were able to finish the game and are still maintaining the game from Ukraine and other places. And it's really a fascinating game. I played it for over a year without getting bored, and it's a little bit more complicated than checkers, but a lot less complicated than chess. And I realized that most games out there are just these simplistic gobble-up games, which is really going from Pac-Man to Candy Crush, or these shoot-'em-up war games from Wolfenstein to maybe Call of Duty, but all that really hasn't changed, and these very long 7-hour fantasy games where you build civilizations. I realized there's really no traditional strategy game of 2 players that has been invented in a very long time. So that's why I think the game 7 will be so fascinating. It's a new alternative to chess, checkers, and backgammon that uses the number 7 in a very special way. So you can see here, you can play a human at random who's online, or you can invite a friend, or you can play the computer, which is what we'll do for this demonstration. Now, there are 3 boards. Here's the original classic board that John and I developed. He did the graphics, and we kind of came up with the color codes together. And the Abyss board, which is John's favorite, and then my favorite called the Crystal board. Now, you can also buy boards for $4 each, these 2, or both of them for $7, and the game, of course, is free. Now, if you want it without ads, you pay $7. So I'm going to go ahead and choose the next menu with the Crystal board. Now, there are 7 levels, because each level you have 1 archangel and 6 regular angels. Again, it's a 7x7 board with 7 pieces each that must move 7 spaces every turn, hence the game 7. So as you progress up the levels, the second heaven will have 2 archangels, the third 3 archangels, and so forth, which have special powers. So we'll have to start here on Earth, and here's the game. Now you can see here, there are multiple views of the game. You can show it 3-dimensionally from here, or from this angle here, or from this angle here, which is kind of the largest. You'll see that when you have a 7x7 board, there's a center square. This is called the throne of God. You're not allowed to pass a piece through there. You'll see these are the archangels with the halo, and these squares with the fire are kind of the Sheol dungeon squares. These 4 here with the swirling clouds are called the gate of heaven. The object of the game is to get 4 of your pieces on all 4 of these gates of heaven surrounding the throne of God before your opponent does. Now, if you knock off an opponent from a gate of heaven, then they go to one of these Sheol dungeon squares. These squares here in the corners are red because you can capture a gate of heaven only from these red squares. It's not so much a rule as it is that's the way it works out mathematically. Now, I better move quickly. You have 77 seconds to do a move. It's prompting me to click on this piece to use the 5, move a 5 here, and either a 2 that way or 2 this way to total 7. So I'll go ahead and make that turn before time runs out. Now here's the AI's turn. Now when 2 or more dice add up to 7, they are highlighted by the red border, and that means you can choose any of the dice to play and you get another turn. So theoretically you could have 4 or 5 turns in a row. Now in this case, when none of the dice add up to 7, you use the default red dice here as your move. You take that roll. In this case, I have to move a 6. So I have to move a 6 one direction and then a 90-degree turn and a 1 in the other. In this case, the only 6 that I can move is right here. So I'll click on this. I can move a 6 here and then either here or here with the 1. Seeing how a short-term objective is to first get 1 piece to every corner red square that I'm going to do here, which means I'm 1 away from a gate of heaven on the next turn. So basically, this is how you play the game 7. And all you have to do is click on the links below, and you will see that not only is there a YouTube channel, there's also a Facebook page and a Facebook group of players to play this game. So I hope you click on it. Be sure to tell your friends. Click on the links below to download it free right now for your Apple phone or your Android phone. And give us comments, give us feedback on how to play the game 7. You see the AI just captured this gate of heaven, so if he does it and the other 3 here, the AI will win the game. So let me just capture 1 gate of heaven, hopefully, before we end here so you can see what that looks like. And I got a 3, which means I can move a 3 here. I have to do a 90-degree turn, and a 4 because each time it totals 7, and I've captured 1 of the 4 gates of heaven. Thank you very much. Click on the links below, and I hope you enjoy the game 7.